call it stewardship. Stewardship in simple terms is taking something that is not your own, all right, and working hard on it as if it were your own for the purpose of growing it, multiplying. Hello, my name is Christina, Soname, and I'm particularly excited to be on this platform sharing with you. In the next few minutes, I'll be speaking on the subject of the future of work, raising institutions through the power of one person. To begin with, the future of work. We've heard about this, we've seen a lot about the future of work in recent times, and I will commence by speaking about the future of work from two aspects, just to help demystify the buzz around the future of work. So the first aspect is organizations. Organizations exist primarily for the purpose of making profit. And to make profit, organizations have to provide products and services to its customers. Now, what organizations have seen in recent times is that the taste of customers is changing. The kind of products and services that customers are demanding for is evolving, which is the reason why you see that some companies or organizations that didn't exist a decade or two ago are some of the biggest in the world, because they are now serving these new products and costs and services which customers require. So if organizations must survive into the future, they have to be able to evolve to provide these products and services. That's the first aspect. Now, the second aspect is people. Organizations are made up of people. People make up organizations. People make up institutions, okay? And the reason why people are hired into organizations is to be able to provide the skills that they have in producing or manufacturing or putting together whatever products and services that these companies provide to their customers. So if the demand or the kind of products and services that customers are demanding is changing, it's obvious that there will also be a change in the demand for the kind of skills that are required, because eventually it is skills that are put together to have those products and services available. So I hope you see the interaction between these two things, the customer and the people who provide the services and the products that the customers require. Everything around the future of work is really hinged around these two factors. And so, more than ever before, customers are thinking results and thinking efficiency. Employees can no longer hide behind the shadows or behind the curtains and just be complacent. It's very important that people bring on board the kind of skills that employers are requiring. And with soft skills, for example, there's such a high demand for things like problem solving, creativity and innovation, emotional intelligence, communication and presentation, and the list is endless. Before now, those skills may have been optional, but in today's world, those skills are priority, you see. So when they talk about the future of work, we're talking about the kind of skills that employers are requiring from their people. Now, this brings us into the conversation about the power of one person raising an institution or raising institutions. It's impossible for you to even contribute your quota, all right, if you don't have the required skills that today's organizations are demanding for. So everyone must look into their skill set and say, how can I position for the future? So for the young person who is in school today, on the internet, you should be trying to understand the kind of products and services that people are demanding for, and see how you can study a course that positions you to be in industries at the forefront of those kinds of demands and that we have today. The other aspect of it is how can you get the soft skills that are required. If you're already in the workplace, for example, you might well need to up your game, especially with soft skills. All right, you can no longer have only hard skills, because those soft skills, for example, problem solving, position you to be able to apply your hard skills the way it should be applied. So when we talk about the concept of raising institutions with the power of one person, I think about what I consider to be the summary of the kind of skills that organizations are demanding for today, and I call it stewardship. Stewardship in simple terms is taking something that is not your own, all right, and working hard on it as if it were your own, for the purpose of growing it, multiplying it, as the case may be. So think about an organization. Stewardship is moving from the mentality of I am an employee to the mentality of I am an employer of labor, or I'm an employer of self who offers services to an organization. So you have to think about yourself. It's almost like, in simple terms, think like an employer, all right, but serve as an employee. That mindset is so key. At the heart of stewardship is the concept of job ownership. And more than ever before, employers require job ownership from their people. It's no longer that season where you just sit back at your desk and wait to be told what to do. You have to be innovative. You have to own the job with whatever task or whatever duty or whatever role that you feel. You have to be thinking about how you can make the organization as a whole a better place, how your contribution can make a significant impact on the profitability of the organization. It's no longer about just getting my task done and going home. It's about thinking as if you owned the business. That is such a critical skill in today's workplace. As I speak about stewardship, I remember the parable, allow me to make reference to the Bible, the parable of the unfaithful steward. And I'll summarize the story, just trying to adapt today's parlance to make the story come alive all the more. All right. So we are told of, in this case, I'll call him an employer, but it was a master in the Bible, right, who is going on a journey and calls his 3 servants. Allow me to refer to these servants as employees. So an employer is traveling, going away for a while, going on leave, maybe on a compulsory leave for a period, and calls his people to say, I'm going to be away for a while. Okay, take some resources, take these resources, and ensure you do something with it up until I come back. 2 of these guys take what has been given to them and go on and multiply it. But one guy says, hey, this is my employer. He just likes to reap where he does not sow. He's not even coming to work, yet he wants the resources to multiply. I mean, in today's parlance, what that servant, in this case, that employee, said would be something like, it's not my father's business. I cannot come and kill myself. I mean, these are things that we hear a lot today. That kind of mentality cannot position you for the future of work. You cannot raise an institution that way. All right, to raise an institution, you have to be that person who owns your job and who thinks like an entrepreneur. It's called entrepreneurship, where you are an employee, but you are one who is thinking like the owner of the business. You're thinking about how you can move the business forward. You're thinking about the big picture and not only the small cell that you occupy. When you think this way, it fuels innovation. Why? Because innovation comes from asking questions like, how can this be done better? How can it be done faster? How can we earn more? How can we spend less? When you have job ownership, or when you're owning the job like a steward in this season, it would spur innovation and creativity. You would naturally come up with ideas. You would not only be trying to do things the way it has always been done, but you'll be also trying to evolve and move at the pace or even faster than your customer, so that your organization can be at an advantage. That is so critical. When job ownership comes to play, you can also see adaptability. People who are able to, adapt to situations. For example, what we've seen in recent times with organizations locked down and people at home. Adaptability is your ability to, even though you're at home, say to yourself, hey, how can I still contribute? How can my role still be significant to my organization? What can my organization do? How can we still be profitable? That kind of thinking can only come from someone who has a steward mindset. The other thing I'll make mention of is learning agility. A person who is a steward, who has the steward thinking or steward mindset, is ever ready to learn and evolve. That's not the person that says, hey, I didn't study that in school. I wasn't trained for that. No, the future of work requires a kind of employee or entrepreneur, a business person who is constantly ready to learn and evolve. Why? Because the workplace is changing. The demands are different. Everything is fast-paced and moving. And if you must position for the future of work, you must be a steward that can learn, apply, and move. Okay? There's a lot to be said, but as I wrap up, I want to encourage you that You as an individual, you are powerful. There is so much value you can bring to an organization. Some of the biggest organizations we know today are not the largest in terms of employee number, but the few people behind the scene are making such a difference, and that can be you. Join me on board as you take on the challenge to be a steward at whatever it is you find yourself doing in this season. Thank you very much, and I wish you all the best on your endeavors.